Fall camp is here, which means the pads are popping. Kirby is on the mic, and he be yelling. There's players that are standing out. There's players that are falling behind. Is somebody losing their starting job? All of that and more next on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. He is Daniel. I'm Clint. Together, the confluence is Locked On Bulldogs. Today's episode brought to you by Game Time. Game Time, more on them today. Download the Game Time app. Locked On College, 20 hours off your first purchase. Terms apply. Today, we are talking the pads that are popping. Took place down in Athens this last weekend. We got news and notes and insight information that we want to share with you. And let's just talk about this. That's all the segments. Every segment is going to come up with fresh, new information. Players showing out, players taking a step back, some interesting observations, possibly guys losing their starting job. It's all there because it's fall camp, and it should make you beyond excited, dog fan. Because there's already buzz that a freshman will be starting, not the freshman you think of. There's already buzz that one of my predictions of the year, I'm feeling really good about. And a prediction that Daniel made that maybe he didn't want to make and is oddly coming true. Self-fulfilled prophecy is a thing.
You hate to see it.
You do hate to see it. Daniel, let's just talk about the general tone of the scrimmage. And let's start with this big picture and get down the nitty gritty. The big picture is this. This ain't last year's team by any stretch of the imagination. Word out of Athens and word out of fall camp so far is it's crisp, it's clean, it's fast, it's competitive, and ain't no one resting on no laurels whatsoever because this just in, you ain't done nothing. The year is 2025, 2021 and 2022, long time ago. No one remember you.
Past.
Move on.
I mean, not as long ago as it's been since Florida's won a national championship, or since Alabama's won a national championship, or since Tennessee's won a national championship. So it's not been that long, but it has been a while, and we got a team full of guys, Clint, that haven't ever tasted it. They've never been there. And I think, that's the place to start. We're going to name names in segment 2. That's what we're here to do. But in segment 1, I think it's a general vibes check, right? And coming out of fall camp, first practice, vibes are high right now. And by vibes are high, I mean reports are that Kirby is absolutely lighting people up. I mean, I'm talking about a rear end chewing, like
yes.
of biblical proportions.
Yes.
And that's the vibe from a Georgia football practice that you want, right? If people are dancing and there's music playing and people are laughing and yucking up and having a good time, no, sirree.
Hard pass.
That ain't what I want. What I want is Glenn Schumann in a gray sweatsuit when it's 92 degrees outside, 100% humidity.
Well, you have that.
That man losing a quart of fluid an hour, okay? And I want Kirby Smart on the microphone absolutely getting after people.
Yes.
Because, again, that's Georgia football.
This is the youngest team, one of the younger teams that we've commented on. We do have a number of guys coming back with snap counts, but NIL has made a young team now the new norm. Kirby Smart getting after people. We told you last year, you could tell a lot by how Kirby, the Kirbanese, how he interacts with players and how he talks to the media, talks to you and I. Last year, it was a lot of hand-holding.
Oh, we were trying our best. You could tell it from the beginning.
A lot of we need to build these guys up because ain't nobody believe in this team inside the program right now. We got head cases abound. We got guys who think that they are the stuff and they're not. This year's team, That's not the tone. The tone is Kirby getting after people, and he's getting after people because he knows they can take it. They want the coaching. They want the impact. They're not prima donnas. They're not head cases, and they're not soft like our offensive line was last year.
That's the thing about them, Clint, is they're not soft. They can be and like Kirby made a point this offseason to try to tell you all this, that like he's going out looking for specific types of players. Yes. And those are the guys that want to play football. Those are the only guys he's interested in bringing into this fold. And those are the guys that we're seeing make an impact in fall camp early, and the guys that I think have the ability to change the culture of this team. Again, it's weird. We're talking about a team that won the SEC last year, a team that made the college football playoff, which not every so-called power program can say. But we're still talking about changing the culture of Georgia football. And again, you don't want to make any predictions off of vibes and vibes alone. Right?
No.
Vibes can be very misleading. But there's a baseline of positive vibes that you need in order to then begin to assess all the data of whether, how good a team's going to be.
Correct.
If you don't meet a minimum threshold of just like general good vibes, and again, by good vibes, we don't mean Kirby's like everything's good here.
Nope.
No, we mean Kirby's like, we got a long way to go. These guys are getting whipped up front. We can't have it. We're missing assignments. It's not clean. It's not right. It's not what we want. We're not playing to the standard. Those are the vibes that you want for Georgia football, and that's what we're getting.
You know the person you work with that when it's time for annual review, you have to find corporate language to give them the bad news that they're awful at their job.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid that you're going to have a midday meltdown over what's happening. And so you have to couch it and frame it and all the good things they do, a little compliment sandwich in there. And you have to sneak in that. Okay. That's not this team, Daniel.
No.
Already the character, the integrity, the heart and soul of this team seems like it is night and day difference. Our guys are running, guys are sprinting, guys are flying around the field, guys have bad intentions, competition is back up. This is the heart and soul of a culture, and that's what Kirby Smart was brought in to do. He's the CEO of culture. He's the CEO of getting guys developed. He's the CEO of setting the standard and holding guys' feet to the fire to get that standard. The scrimmage was no exception. Kirby is calling out guys and they can take it. He is trusting guys. We're going to talk about a couple snap count guys, a couple defensive guys who are just being thrust into the limelight. Because again, this is the type of team you want. You don't want guys coming in and be handed stuff. I don't want that. I don't want to be Texas Tech. I don't want to get 2 5 stars because I'm throwing 20 mil at them each. I don't want that. It's simple. This scrimmage gave me hope that the culture of this year, 2025, has nothing to do with our beginning of 2024, already a week into camp. And I'm feeling ecstatic about this. We're going to come back, talk about players that are showing out, and a couple guys that their starting jobs are giant question marks right now. But first, these. And these are, in fact, Game Time. Game Time is fantastic, Daniel. Download the Game Time app today. All been there, right? Logging in early, waiting forever to get concert tickets. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping. Hey, guess what? Game Time is right there for you. Get concert tickets faster and easier than ever. 60% off, killer last-minute deals. With Game Time, the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden fees, no upcharge. When you see it, it's there. You don't have to wait till the third screen you get to go ahead and say pay now, and all of a sudden all these fees. Come on, no. It's right there for you. Take the guesswork out of buying concert and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
Clint, we said in the second segment we were going to name names, and here we are in the second segment. And so it feels like it might be an appropriate time for us to name some names.
Look, I know it's year 2. I know he has an entrenched starter in front of him.
Okay.
I know
it seems like you know several things.
I know, sir. I know we're a week into the season. It's the first scrimmage, and scrimmage means nothing, and I want to see games. But I am going back to the window. I'm tripling down. I have split, and I have made the bet again, and I will continue to take the ticket out. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Ellis Robinson III will be one of the best defensive players we have by the end of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, reports are Ellis Island was a thing, was real, and was true. And taken our wide receiver group we're going to talk about in just in a second here. We're going to name names because wide receiver group, much improved, much better, much more talent, and already performance branch, notably. But you cannot keep dogs down like this. You cannot keep sharks who want to eat down for long. I don't care what's in front of them. I don't care what odds they have against them. I don't care what happened last year. If a guy performs, especially in the defensive backfield, we've seen this from Kirby Smart every single time. Remember when Campbell was over in the cornerback room and we didn't know who was going to be starting opposite. We don't know who number 2 was. And there was a hot minute there. It was freshman, who knows? And we thought we had some entrenched guys. And I'm just here to say Ellis Robinson is playing his way onto the field. He's not getting anything. He's earning all of this. The longer I sit on it, the longer I think of this defense and what happened last year and to this year, Ellis Robinson is going to absolutely turn some freaking eyeballs this year, Daniel.
Yeah. Listen, it's early and you never know what to make of some of these things, but we are so quick to write people off who don't come in and play as a freshman, who don't make meaningful contributions as a freshman. And I'm just here to tell you, most of the best players that you've ever loved as Georgia players don't make meaningful contributions as a freshman, okay? For every Nick Chubb, there are 30 other players. There are 30 Jordan Davises out there.
Come on.
Who just are a normal, maybe they sniff the field a little bit. They don't really see a lot of action.
Y'all remember Devontae Wyatt?
Yeah, there are 30 of those for every one Jalen Carter. Okay, and so are there going to be some true freshmen that see the field this year for Georgia? Yeah, we're going to talk about one in particular, as Clint teased at the beginning. But just because a guy comes in 5-star, all-world, number 1 corner, Ellis Robinson, and he doesn't immediately crack into the rotation, which, by the way, that's a positive. You don't want that guy. Okay, Alabama fans right now are clamoring for a true freshman to be their starting quarterback. And I'm here to tell you,
cool.
Please let that be the case and not Ty Simpson. Please.
You and I both, all of us together, let's wish that into Caitlin's head.
We all want that to be happening. Yes, play that 5-star true freshman, not Ty Simpson. It's just a classic college football fan mistake that we tend to make. And I mean, Ellis Robinson is another prime example. Now, some of them don't hit. Sometimes the reason they don't play is because they're never going to play, because like that, I'll grant you, for every Nick Chubb out there, there's also a guy out there who comes in with all the accolades and never really breaks through, right? Like never really sees the field. A Nate McBride, if you will. But most of the time, these guys just need a little seasoning. They need a little time to adjust from high school to college. And yeah, Clint, all reports are that Ellis Robinson is that dude. And I think we're going to have a full-on 3-man rotation at corner by the time this season starts. And I, for one, am here for it.
I'm here for it, guys. I wouldn't be mad about it. Another name, as we're naming names, maybe you caught an episode in which Daniel, who, by the way, Daniel, I don't know if you are aware of this, but you don't know ball, is what I've been told by those who are keyboard warriors.
Here we go. Well, that's true.
Offensive line last year, not good,
Mm-hmm.
not great. Didn't do well for us.
Yeah.
Needed a lot of turnover. Well, if I'm a highly talented, highly motivated player at Georgia who has all the room in the world for opportunity, the position that I want that to be, if I'm highly motivated, highly skilled, want to get after it, and all I got to do is get on the field and blow somebody off the line of scrimmage by 3 yards, and I'm going to be rewarded with a starting job because there's plenty of opportunities to go around. It's the offensive line. Offensive line right now, we said this begin. We think it's going to be an improved unit. Can we name the best offensive lineman right now? Nope.
No.
I can't, and I don't want to. But I'll tell you this right now. Juan Gaston has said, hey, look, y'all kind of forgot about me because when Daniel and I first watched the film of him, when he committed, the number one thing we saw was pure, unadulterated nastiness.
Yeah.
Absolute heat-seeking missile for violence is what this, and turns out at 6'7", 360, by the time that the whole recruiting cycle was done, it had come, it had gone, 6'7", 360, the number 4 tackle, the number 4 overall prospect in Georgia, and the number 18 national prospect has gone ahead and, guys, we may have a displaced starter at guard because Juan Gaston has just said, hey, coach, you need 3 yards because on 3rd down and 1, we couldn't get 1 yard on the scrimmage. We're going to talk about that in third segment. But Juan Gaston says, I like nothing more than getting in front of another large human and bullying them back 5 yards. Daniel, reports are that Juan Gaston showed out at the scrimmage.
My goodness. And it could not come. I mean, it just could not be a more welcome sound in my ears because I don't care who it is, Clint. I do not care if it is a walk-on. I don't care who it is. I need someone's multiple bodies on this offensive line to show me that there are better options than what we had last year. Because you can say I don't know ball all you want. If you were satisfied with the offensive line play last year for the University of Georgia, I invite you to shut up. Because it ain't it. Nope. That wasn't it. What I saw wasn't it.
And it wasn't just what we saw. Literally, again, the man who's in charge of the entire best football program in the nation said it wasn't good enough for him.
What would he know? Doesn't know ball, I'll tell you that.
He don't know ball.
No, certainly doesn't. Yeah, listen, I think it's a welcome sight.
Yeah.
To see a guy like Juan Gaston. Now, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Bo Hewley is there. Daniel Calhoun is there. Sure. We feel like Micah Morris has got one of those guard spots locked down. There's another guard spot up for grabs. We feel like Drew Bobo's got one of got the center spot locked down. Who knows? Maybe we see Juan Gaston at right guard. Maybe we see Juan Gaston at right tackle. Listen, it's
not the first time that Kirby would put a starting freshman at right tackle.
Nope. No, absolutely not. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'll tell you what I love. I love that there are options, that there is competition, that it's not just like, I guess Tate Ratledge is coming back, so he's the right guard. Okay, well, but what if we can do better? And I think this Georgia team can do better. We've got more thoughts on the scrimmage from this weekend or the practice this weekend, fall camp, and we'll get to them right after these. Clint, we named some names.
We did.
Zachariah Branch, by the way, is going to be really good.
Guys.
He's going to be really good.
He's going to be very good.
Arian Smith had 800 yards receiving, I was told in the comments, Clint. He led the country in drops. but I'm to believe he was good. Do you know how many wide receivers there are in college football, Clint?
I do.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And he was number one in drops, tied with his buddy Dom Levin. Okay. So the thing about it is Zachariah Brands is going to be a lot better.
A lot better.
A significant upgrade at
Yes,
wide receiver. Are there concerns, Clint? Let me ask you that. Are they, based on the reports that we're hearing, based on the things that we're seeing, are there concerns?
Okay, here. Let me start. My weakness is that I work too hard. Daniel? Okay,
I care too much.
I care too much. Let me hit you with this. Defensive line play at the scrimmage. Overshadowed, overpowered, trounced, crushed, killed, and stalled out the offensive line in the running game. Running backs didn't have any holes to run through. And we see that Kristen Miller had a very good performance, showed out a great deal. Defensive line, especially on the interior, was not soft. They were pushing guys back and shoving their faces in, which is what you wanted to see, which is what you and I said would be great. However, Daniel, one of the worst rushing attacks last year that derailed multiple of our games.
Yeah.
In which we got outrushed by the likes of Kentucky. We got outrushed by the likes of, I mean, the teams that actually took it to us and performed better than us in the running game, which we control, was long and distinguished. And Daniel, I'm hearing the same thing from the whole offensive line as a unit. We could say good news, defensive line doing well, but also at the same time, we have a first-year starting quarterback, brand new running backs outside of Nate Frazier, brand new wide receivers, brand new offensive line. And for us to have any concern over the integrity of the inside protection of that unit is a little scary, to say the least.
Yeah. You're always going to deal with this, right? You go to watch these inter-squad scrimmages, you go to G-Day, you go to whatever. We talk about this all the time. The defensive line's dominating. Okay.
Cool.
Dominating who? Oh, is that our offensive line out there?
Our offense.
Those are our starters out there being dominated by an SEC defensive line? Well, hopefully that's the only SEC defensive line they'll have to go up against this year. Oh, wait. No, it's not. They'll have to go up against Alabama's defensive line. They'll have to go up against Texas's defensive line. So it's always going to be a double-edged sword, okay? We love what we're seeing out of the defensive line. You know, Clint and I think possibly we may rank the position groups coming up in the next few episodes. We may do a full position group ranking. Like strongest unit to least strong unit on the team.
I love that.
I can tell you this as a spoiler. The defensive line's going to be near the top of those rankings. Okay? We anticipate big things out of this year's defensive front. But anytime you hear the offensive line's getting whipped, anytime you hear it was 3rd and 2 and they couldn't gain 1 yard in the run game, Clint, I have a few flashbacks that I go to.
Remember the cocktail party when it was 1st and goal on the 2? We tried.
It's not a happy place that I go to.
They encroached, gave us a first down.
We tried again. Nothing. So, are there concerns? I would say still the primary concerns on this unit are up front on the offensive line. And that's, again, we go back to Daniel Calhoun. Where are you at? Juan Gaston, where are you at? Bo Hewley, where are you at? Like, somebody needs to step up. We got to be able to get push. We have to be able to run the ball when we want to.
Yep.
I just don't see. Let me ask you this one.
Okay.
Georgia wins the national championship this year. What is the lowest in in SEC rankings that they could be in rushing. They were 14th out of 16 teams last year. We're darn sure that wasn't good enough for a national championship.
Nope, it wasn't.
So if I told you Georgia wins the national championship this year, you would tell me, well, I know for a fact they were at least where in the SEC pecking order of rushing offenses?
At minimum, has to be in the
minimum.
top half at minimum. At like
top 8.
Top 8. That's just to have fractional percentage chance of winning the national championship. The most likely, the sweet zone, where the percentage of you being in the national championship, winning it, you gotta be top 4, Daniel. Top 4. Texas was an incredible running team last year because Quinn Ewers couldn't throw, and Arch
They
Manning
were with Wisner and that offensive line. They were able to move the ball.
Very efficient running the ball. Very efficient. Ohio State, Michigan. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
To me, that's the part of, not to get off on Texas for a minute, that's the part of Texas offenses that scares me.
Yep.
Wisner's coming back. Arch can run the ball a lot better than Quinn Ewers could. I have questions about the offensive line. We'll see what Texas is able to do on the offensive line. But yeah, Texas could run the ball last year. That's why they were as good as they were.
Correct. So to be in that conversation, you got to be top 4 for me, where the percentage that curve starts going way high when it's actually top 4.
Does this team have top 4 SEC rushing offense in it?
I will say this. The running back pecking order plus new blood seems to me to have the skill and competency to do that. Okay, I'm not worried about running backs. All right. Kenny McIntosh, as much as I loved him, was an absolute beast receiving and on that wheel route and in the whole. I mean, he was a damn good dog for us, and I loved his time. I feel comfortable, far more comfortable with these 2 running backs plus freshmen and plus depth behind to get stuff done in the running game. And I think if you go back and look at the mountain of men that we have recruited before, 6'7", 360 is kind of standard in this new system. A couple of years ago, we had a couple guys like that, unproven, high ceiling guys. We get the right mix in there, Daniel.
Yeah.
I believe, yes, we do. This is reminiscent of a couple offensive lines that we didn't know outside of Ben Cleveland how well they were going to be. We didn't know about Andrew Thomas necessarily because he was a freshman starting over there. And it worked out just fine. So untested, unknown offensive line, but with competent running backs and a scheme to fit. Plus, you're talking about running, Daniel. And some dog fans don't want to hear this, but they need to.
Okay.
Gunnar Stockton, talented when things not only break down, but on designed, intentional, and purposeful. Tuck the ball and go, kid. Very, very, very good at that. So, yes, I believe we do.
I was just about to say it, Clint. May I speak openly and honestly for the last couple minutes of the podcast?
Hasn't stopped you before.
Now, I don't know any ball, but I do know which numbers are higher than other numbers.
Interesting.
And Alabama was 4th in the SEC in rushing last year with 172 rushing yards per game. Okay. So that's roughly the threshold that you're looking at. Tennessee led the SEC in rushing 220 per game.
Fits.
And then South Carolina 2nd and Arkansas 3rd. Now, take Tennessee out of that, even though Nico ran a lot more than you think he ran.
Yes.
Especially against Georgia. But can we look at South Carolina finish 2nd, I said? Arkansas finished 3rd, I said. Alabama finished 4th, I said. Anybody know what all those schools have in common?
What do they have in common?
They got a quarterback that's accounting for quite a few rushing yards per game.
Interesting.
So what I'm trying to tell you is if Georgia is going to get to that top 4, now that's not a magic number. That's a number you made up. So
yes, correct.
Yeah. If Georgia is going to get in that top 4, I'm here to tell you it will not be on the legs of Nate Frazier and McCray exclusively. It's going to be some design run. It's going to be some scramble drill. It's going to be, a little nothing's open, tuck it and go and get 8, pick up 8 instead of, losing 3.
And this is what's just imagine this. A lot of this offense we said are going to be taking deep because Gunnar Stockton can have a howitzer. When you have man coverage or zone coverage and routes are extending 20 yards upfield, Daniel, do you know what happens when the defenders who are rushing you get behind you and all the guys covering receivers are in fact 15, 20 yards downfield? And you're a very, very tough, very fast, very nimble runner with a football.
What's that? What happens then?
You have a wide open field to do with what you please.
It cannot be overstated how much the passing game is going to help the run game this year, is what you're saying. And I could not agree more. If you have receivers that can not only get open, but listen to me, catch the ball.
That's interesting. That's wild.
Once they're open, then you're going to be able to run it a heck of a lot better. Clint and I will be back tomorrow with more Georgia football talk. Until then, we will talk to you guys later.
See you.